Welcome everybody to Senior Day here at Osh Hall Stadium, where the original walk-ons play their final game of their collegiate careers. We're going to be taking on the Louisville Cardinals today, who are 2-9, and your St. Thomas Tommies are looking to win their fourth game in these last 5 games of the season, so it should be a good one. Make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe if you're new. Let's go ahead and get into some game action. So we start things out here with Louisville starting with the ball to begin this game. And I must have missed something in the scouting report because number 24 is out on the field at quarterback. So we may be dealing with maybe like a former running back or like just a nice athlete at the quarterback position. And that may be the case because he misses his first throw badly. I mean, 2nd and 10 is now coming up. As now this quarterback, Kevin Blake, he's in shotgun. He makes a decent pass here, this time to Monte Harris. He gained 17 on that one. That's a decent little throw for the young QB. As now Kevin Blake goes in the shotgun, moves somebody into motion. He's going to go over the middle this time to find David Myers. He's off to a pretty fast start so far. As now the Louisville Cardinals are inching towards the red zone for the first time today. As Kevin Blake, he's going to throw it over the middle once again to David Myers. And now Louisville is looking to strike first, very close to the end zone, to make this their first lead of the game. And they nearly do it on this run by Tony Mason, bringing them down to the 1-yard line. But so far the defense is standing tall, but they nearly get it done. But Tony Mason breaks Aaron Moore's tackle, and as a result of that, Louisville is going to take a 7-0 lead. As now for the first time today, we see the St. Thomas offense out on the field. Would really love to be able to win this game for the St. Thomas faithful. As you can see, it's our final game of the not only for the season, but this is also the final game for many of the original walk-ons that were here back on season 1. As Denny Dilkins, who was an original walk-on, he gets the first carry. He gets us the first down. Next play, we go over the middle to Patrick Miller, who gets hit as soon as he catches it, but still hangs on. Is able to gain 9 yards on the play. As now we got a 2nd and 1 coming up. Going to go with the read option. John Wilson, he's going to keep it and then slide down. As soon as getting the first down, got to avoid those hits. As you know, QB injuries was an issue last season. Now Dilkins, he's going to take it up the gut for a gain of 9. Nearly a first down. St. Thomas's offense is looking really good right now. Next play, John Wilson goes into the shotgun formation. He's looking around to try to find somebody. He's going to throw over the right-hand side to Andre Luck, who eventually gets tripped up at about the 15-yard line as St. Thomas looks to get a touchdown right back and tie this game. However, we got a 3rd and 9 coming up, and it's a bad pass. We had Chad McKenzie on that corner route if John Wilson could have just thrown it on the money. But instead, we do have to settle for a field goal as we are now down 7-3 right now. And this time, they're going to hand it off to Kyle Walker to start this drive. He's gaining 12 yards on that one for a nice first down. Next play, going to try to hit him with a blitz. And Kevin Blake is going to make us pay for it badly as Monte Harris gets loose. And no one's going to be able to catch him, as that is going to be a 14-3 lead. And, you know, it's tough to see. But it gets even worse because we went 3 and out on our next possession. It could definitely get out of hand quickly if we're not careful. As now Kevin Blake, he's going to keep it. And no one's going to be able to catch him either. Not even Derek Jackson. And Derek Jackson gets into the end zone. Kevin Blake is going to score a touchdown. And all of a sudden, it is a 21-3 ball game. As now Louisville is set to kick it back off to the St. Thomas guys. As Kevin Stone's able to find a nice lane. Get us to about the 40-yard line before it's shoved out of bounds. And great timing as our offense has stalled a little bit. Only getting 63 yards so far in this game. So now we go ahead and give the ball to Denny Dilkins to start the drive. He's going to nearly get us to, looks like about midfield, pick up a gain of 7. on that one. As now John Wilson will move into the shotgun formation. Get ready to pass. He's going to go ahead and find Freddie Gibson. Checking him down to him. Picking up 9 tough yards as well. As that is how the first quarter is going to end for us. We got punched in the mouth early on. We need to pick it up if we want to win on senior night. So now we are back here with the second quarter of this Louisville versus St. Thomas game. And the first thing that happens is we get sacked for a loss of 8. Which means we have a long 3rd and 16 waiting for us. And what we're going to try to do for now is try to throw a screen. Then we get sacked again. So another promising drive for us ends with another punt. And Louisville will be taking over again, this time at about the 25-yard line. Going to throw it to the left-hand side to Walker. He breaks multiple tackles and is finally pushed out of bounds by Bobby Football for the first down. Next play, Louisville moves into their no-huddle. Green goes into motion as Walker goes to the outside. He nearly picks up the first down himself, gaining 8 yards on that play. But we did stiffen up a little bit. We have an opportunity for the first time to get these guys off the field. We're going to sell for the run. It is not a run. We actually get bamboozled from behind as Meyer makes the catch, breaks a couple tackles, gets upfield to about the 35. You know, I mean, I know a lot of you guys would have done the same thing too. 3rd and 1. Might as well try your best to contain the run. It simply does not happen. It's now 1st and 10 coming up. Kevin Blake dropping back the pass, looking like a natural. Actually, in the backfield, you know, playing that quarterback position. You know, usually we don't see quarterbacks wear 24 if he is listed at quarterback. But he's looking like a quarterback for sure, though, as he throws another good pass over to Johnny Wright for a gain of 12. So now 1st and goal coming up for us as they go up the middle to Tony Mason. Bobby Football tries to make the tackle, but is simply stiff-armed away. And it's looking really bad for the St. Thomas guys right now. We're down 28-3. So if we want anything to happen here, we need something to happen right now. And it's going to start on this drive. As Wilson gets his, he's thrown. It's an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 coming up for us. As we're going to go ahead and run 4 verts. See if we can get Chad McKenzie open. Use that speed to our advantage. And we do just that. He gets a massive 48-yard gain. Perfect throw by John Wilson. And the St. Thomas football team is going to move to the line of scrimmage as we try once again to throw to Chad McKenzie. This time, it's a not-so-perfect throw. And now we face a 3rd and 10 coming up here as John Wilson changes the play a little bit. And then it's going to throw quickly to Andrew Green, but it's incomplete. He's not able to hang on to it. But because we're so close, we're only going to give Louisville decent field position. If we don't get it, we're going to go ahead. We're going to go for it here. Try to get something on this first down, and we get it as Freddie Gibson makes the catch. Gain of 15 on that one as St. Thomas hurries to the line of scrimmage. Tries to get the play going, and Kevin Stone, the senior wide receiver, OG walk-on, gets the first touchdown for St. Thomas on this senior day. As now we cut this thing down to 18. But we got to get a stop here against these Louisville Cardinals as Kevin Blake, he's going to drop back the throw. He's going to throw his left, and look who it is. Brian Cook gets the interception. We are in business, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting our next drive at the 25-yard line, courtesy of that Brian Cook interception. As now it's time for us to execute so that we can make this a 2-possession game. Danny Dilkins, he's going to go ahead and take it up the gut. Taking it up the middle for a gain of 7. So we only need 1 more inch, which we have no problem whatsoever getting. He's able to get that inch and many more inches to go as it's a gain of 5. Next play, Chad McKenzie, another senior wide receiver, goes into the option. John Wilson's going to pitch it to Chad McKenzie. He's able to beat him to the end zone. And another senior walk-on at wide receiver gets the touchdown. And look at this, guys. We were dead in the water. And now it's just a 2-score game. And if we can get a stop here, we can make this a 1-possession game before the end of the half, potentially. As now we have to do everything but allow a touchdown. That's all we have to do. We can allow field goals. I think we can afford a field goal, but definitely not a touchdown. As Kevin Blake throws over the middle to Walker, nobody accounts for him. It's a gain of 22, and it looks like Louisville is already in field goal range. Next play, Kevin Blake lines up under center. He's going to throw it once again this time to David Myers over the middle. Gain of 15 more yards, leaving that center wide open. I don't know what's going on with the zone schemes that St. Thomas defense is running, but we are just riding that struggle bus as that middle has been left wide open for the third time now. Now it's 1st and goal. Next play, Kevin Blake vs. Ryan will give it off to Walker as Bobby Football and Brian Cook team up to make the tackle, but it goes for a gain of 6. But we do get him to a 3rd and goal here. Big play for us, and Bobby Football simply cannot catch up with him as Monte Harris gets into the end zone. And that is actually how this first half is going to end. We find ourselves down 35-17, but we will get the ball to start the second half. Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of the St. Thomas vs. Louisville game. Senior night for the St. Thomas Tommies, as St. Thomas does go 3 and out on their very first possession. So now Louisville will take over at roughly midfield. Adam Bell is the fullback, it looks like, gains 11 yards off a little in route. As Kevin Blake, he's looking around. He shakes a tackle, throws it over to Bell, and it's thankfully incomplete, broken up by the St. Thomas secondary. A couple plays later, Kevin Blake, he's going to drop back, throw a nice little ball over the middle, this time to, looks like Derek Osborne, who, kind of quiet day so far, 2 catches for 30 yards so far, as there's another throw, this time on the slant route to Nick Bates, taking advantage of the lack of speed that is still on the St. Thomas team. It's a lot better fundamentally sound, I will say that, but to a degree we still need to find more speed on this team. As now Louisville faces a 3rd and 5. Blake is surveying the field. He's going to just throw it away because he doesn't see anybody, doesn't want to risk it, going to settle for a field goal. But now it's crunch time for the St. Thomas offense. We find ourselves down by 21 points. As Kevin Stone breaks a tackle, he can't break the second one though, but he is already at midfield. That is the second catch of the day for the OG walk-on. As now John Wilson will try to go to him again, but it's off the mark. Thomas Yates was there on the coverage. As now 2nd and 10 is coming up for St. Thomas. Looking around, we're going to try to throw to Freddie Gibson. It's dropped and it's nearly cost us an interception, as that ball was uncomfortably in the air for too long. And now it's 3rd and 10. John Wilson is looking around trying to find somebody to get open. He's going to just go ahead and throw it up for Patrick Miller, who almost makes the catch surprisingly despite the number of Louisville defenders. But we will have to punt it away regardless, as now we need St. Thomas to get us a stop for us. And I don't know if it's going to happen as Walker... No, it actually does. Walker is stopped in the backfield. We do just enough. It's a 3 and out. And you know what that means? They got to punt the ball away. They aren't going to risk it even though it's only an inch. And guys, if I am showing punts right now, something is about to go down. As Kevin Stone, he makes a cut to the right-hand side. Only a couple more people to beat. And he's brought down at the 50-yard line. 25-yard return. One of our better returns this season when it comes to punts. As now we pick this thing up at midfield. John Wilson throwing over to Andre Luck, picking up the first down. We got the keys out. We got ourselves a drive going, as we desperately need a touchdown. If we have any chance of coming back in this game, we're going to go ahead and give it to Andre Luck, who goes out of bounds quickly, as St. Thomas will be moving up to the line of scrimmage quickly, trying to save as much time as possible, trying to get a quick score, as we throw over the middle for our receiver, but it's broken up by Chris Baker. And now a 2nd and 10 is coming up, as now John Wilson goes under in shotgun, throw it to Andre Luck. He's able to pick up 9 yards on that one, nearly picking up the first down. But we got 1 more yard to go, but we're not thinking about that 1 yard. We're thinking about the end zone, but it's not open. We try to throw to Andrew Green. He gets lit up like a Christmas tree. And, you know, because field goals aren't going to help us right now, we're going to go for the 4th down once again. And we do get it once again. And we get a lot more. We get a touchdown for Denny Dokins as we cut this thing back down to a 2-possession game. We're not done yet. But now the biggest question for us is, can we get a stop on defense? If we can get a stop on defense, give our guys an opportunity to score, with them still being down only by 2 possessions, we can still potentially come back from this game. Despite the poor first quarter of a half, we are far from done as he's going to the right-hand side for a Walker. As I say that, he immediately puts me in check with Aaron Rodgers getting steamrolled. And then there is Kyle Walker once again picking up the first down. Is now 2nd and 11 coming up. Kevin Blake in under center, getting it over to Bates, who fights for a couple extra yards. That's how the end of his third quarter is. We're down by 2 possessions. A big defensive drive for St. Thomas is coming up that could determine the chances of a potential comeback here on senior night. Alright, so welcome back to the 4th quarter of this game. First thing we're going to do, it's a run for Mason. And Tony Mason is able to bounce it outside. The interior was contained, but we didn't have that outside contained, sadly. That means the drive still continues for Louisville, which immediately makes us pay, as it's a bigger gain for Matt Shelby for gain of 15 on that one. And then Kevin Blake's going to throw it over to tight end Bobby Roach, who gets another touchdown for the Louisville Cardinals, and it's a 3-score game once again here at Osh Hall Stadium. Alright, let's see if we can get something going here. Maybe a win might be out of the question at this point, but we gotta keep staying strong as we're gonna try to throw to Andrew Green, and it's another drop. That is the 3rd drive for Andrew Green that I remember vaguely, so you hate to see it. As John Wilson gonna throw over the middle, Andrew Green. This time he makes a big catch. It's a gain of 23 yards. It's now 2nd and 10 comes up for the St. Thomas team, and we nearly get sacked. So now all of a sudden we got a long 3rd down, and we need to come through right here, right now. We can't afford to punt the ball anymore. So we try to go over the middle, but it's nearly intercepted for Bo Watts. I don't want to make it easier for these guys to get any more points, so we're going to try to go for it once again. We're not giving up easily, but we throw another interception. This time, well, actually, it's our first interception. I'm used to turning the ball over multiple times, but that's actually just our first turnover. This time, Chris Breaker with the interception. So now Louisville's back on the field, probably thinking about trying to get some time off the clock here, as Kevin Blake is set to run a play action. Actually, he's going to go over the middle to Myers, who is immediately brought down by, looks like, Malachi Jackson and company. As now this Louisville squad is running on all cylinders. We just simply don't have an answer for Louisville's speed right now. We're doing our best, obviously, but it's not looking too good for us right now. But they do run a halfback screen. We try to get the interception with Swan, but we'll settle for a TFL, and we'll go ahead and make Louisville settle for a field goal. So now St. Thomas will take over with a few minutes left. Maybe the win is probably out of the question, but we can at least finish strong here. Kevin Stone's going to get another catch for him on his senior night, his 3rd catch for 43 yards. There's now a couple plays later, John Wilson, he's going to go to the left-hand side. He finds Kevin Stone again, who does get lit up. Not the fastest guy, but definitely a Larry Fitzgerald kind of player. He will make the catch if you throw it to him. But as Chad McKenzie makes another catch, speaking of which, a gain of 11 on the play for the St. Thomas guys. So now we got 1st and 10. We got to get this score. At least I would love to score. And we throw a bad pass. Patrick Miller could have won that one-on-one matchup. But, you know, John Wilson just doesn't give him a chance to make a play on the ball. And sometimes that's all you need to do as a quarterback. He does there this time around. Get it to Andre Luck, who's having a great game himself. 7 catches for 76 yards. He's been doing his thing today. It's not his fault that we're losing. As they're going to try to throw over right-hand side to Andre Luck. It's incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10 coming up. John Wilson, he's going to go ahead, throw it, dump it down to Denny Dokins. They leave the flat open for us there. As we're going to go ahead and move to the line of scrimmage quickly. Got to get something going quick. It's 3rd and 3. We're going to try to throw to Patrick Miller, but it's dropped. And now we're going to go ahead, try to run it on them. We just need the 4th down, and we're going to be just a yard short, and Louisville will take over once again. As now Louisville will be running out this clock. Surprised they're not taking a knee, but maybe they have something planned for us. They're passing the ball, surprisingly. Blake's going to go deep over the left-hand side, and it's intercepted. Aaron Rodgers is going to get us the interception, the 2nd turnover of the game. And now St. Thomas will have one more drive left for Season 4. So even though a win is not in play, let's go ahead and finish strong for the seniors on this team. As now first play was an incompletion thrown by John Wilson. But we're going to run play action on our next play. Throw over the right hand side. It's also incomplete. Oops. That's not what I was looking for. This 3rd and 10 is probably what I was looking for. I can tell. I bet you a big play is coming. It is a big play to Andrew Green. And it's a 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. St. Thomas has the opportunity to score one final touchdown in this game. As we throw over in the middle to Andrew Green, it's incomplete. It was dropped, and it was a touchdown waiting to happen. So now 2nd and 10 coming up. Let's see if we can make this touchdown happen. And it's the senior Chad McKenzie, one of the OG walk-ons, scoring the final touchdown of the season for St. Thomas. And it's a good way to end this season, even though we did lose this game 51-31. Sadly, the defense, was not top-notch, but, I mean, we showed a lot of progress this season, and even though things don't work out, we fought back to make sure that things didn't get too out of hand, and we certainly made things interesting during the rest of this game. Alright, so checking out the stats for our guys, and let me say this. It looks like a really rough stat line for John Wilson, but he played a much better game than what the stat sheet says. There was a good amount of drop passes and throwaways just to make sure that we don't get as many sacks as we did, because we had 3 QB sacks and a lot more hits. And there was also some drop passes. So, I mean, John Wilson could have had a much better game than what the stat sheet shows. Running game, we tried our best to get the running game going, but because we were down by so much early on, we couldn't get anything going. We got a couple touchdowns throw from Dilkins and Chad McKenzie. Receivers, we had a good number of drops. Green had 4 drops. McKenzie had 2 drops. We had 10 drops today, and that makes things really hard for us. Andre Luck did lead us in catches today. He had 7 catches for 76 yards. Both touchdowns went to Kevin Stone and Chad McKenzie, who did play their final games as a St. Thomas Tommy. So best of luck for whatever the future holds for these guys. And then so did Freddie Gibson. Freddie Gibson also played his final game, 2 catches for 24 yards. And then this defense just had a really difficult day today. It just was not their best day. We did force 2 turnovers. Brian Cook as well as Aaron Rodgers each caught interceptions. Brian Cook also played his last game too. That's a thing. And it just wasn't happening for us. Chris Hill did get 2 sacks though, but I mean it was not meant to be. We definitely fought hard to make sure it didn't get too out of control, but we just couldn't complete the comeback. So that does bring an end to the season 4 of the St. Thomas Dynasty. Next episode I will go over the season recap as well as go into the off season as we get ready to go into season 5 and make our appearance in the MAC conference. It's gonna be a good one, so make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new. This is John J Gaming on the mic, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.